I'm back for the 10:30 gentle yoga class. If anyone has any requests for today, feel free to drop those in the comments. Hi, Katie. Some things you might find useful for today's class would be a blanket or a towel to put under your knees. If you have a strap or yoga blocks, that's great too, but that's not required. Also, maybe some pillows would be good to have around. If anyone has any requests, feel free to pop those in the comments. You can come and go as you'd like today. I'll go ahead and send my info in the comments if you'd like to make a donation. You really appreciate it. I know lots of us are struggling with loss of jobs these days, myself included, so no pressure if a donation is not something you're able to donate today. If you're not able to accommodate that, that's fine. Today is gentle yoga. I have kind of played around changing the name of this class a handful of times, but we're gonna stick with gentle yoga for now. That way I don't have to feel limited by the language. I'm always willing to take requests and things like that, so feel free to DM me at any time throughout the week. This class will be up for the next 24 hours. And if you'd like me to email it to you, I can. So that is an option as well. So let's go ahead and get started today by finding any comfortable seated posture. We're going to open with a seated guided meditation. We're going to be working with the mantra today. So if you've never worked with a mantra before in your meditation, I'm excited for you. I love mantra meditation. I find it really useful in helping focus my mind and my awareness to being really present. And there's so many mantras you can use. So if there's something specific that you're looking to cultivate, or if you're struggling with something in your life, there is definitely a mantra that can help you kind of work on those intentions and help you stay present. So today's mantra is going to be very simple. It's a hum sa. So hum and sa are the two sounds you'll be making. And you're welcome to say them aloud, or if you'd rather silently repeat the mantra to yourself in your mind, you can do that too. So finding any comfortable seated posture, you can have your legs crossed like this, or maybe sitting in a kneeling posture is going to be more comfortable, something like this. If you do have a pillow or a block or a blanket or anything, you could try and set that under your seat for a little extra support there. Sometimes a folded blanket under the hips is really nice. So as you settle in, feel free to kind of shift side to side, take any small movements that'll help you feel loose and relaxed. And eventually, we're going to begin to soften your gaze. Maybe you close down the eyes completely. Hands can be resting on the body somewhere. Palms facing up if you're looking to invite more receptive energy, more openness. Palms down if you're looking to ground. So maybe take a few moments to just identify where you're at mentally, emotionally, and physically. For example, if you're feeling really distracted, maybe you choose palms down to invite that grounding energy. If you're feeling resistant, Maybe palms up today. As you settle into your stillness, you can begin to root down through the sits bones, through the legs, through any of the parts of your body that are making contact with the earth. And you can think of your props as an extension of the earth. So if you are using pillows or blocks or blankets underneath you, think of that as an extension of the earth. So rooting down into them. Feeling really tethered to the ground. Really stable through your root. Maybe visualizing the color red. It's associated with the root chakra in the West. And gradually begin to shift your focus to your breathing. So finding almost that opposite energy from the grounding energy of pressing down. And this time, as you inhale, lift the crown of the head up. So connecting you to the cosmos, to the air element. Still rooting down, but finding that oppositional force lifting you up. It's almost like you're being guided in opposite directions, down and up at the same time. Maintaining this really strong and stable posture as you continue to breathe. We'll work with your natural breath pattern here. So just allowing your breath to occur. Trusting that the next breath will come. Feeling your body as it lifts and lowers with the natural rhythm of your breath. Maintaining the integrity of your posture as you do so. You're welcome to begin to work with the mantra Ham Sa as you continue to breathe naturally. Inhaling Ham, exhaling Sa. Translates in Sanskrit to I am, or I am that. And the words mimic the sound of your breath. As you inhale, Sa as you exhale. Continuing repeating the mantra as you breathe. Maintaining your awareness on your breath and on the mantra. Returning to it if your mind wanders or if you lose track of your breath at any time. Be like this for 2 more minutes, working with your mantra. I'll find the time and ring the bell when we're finished. You can begin to release the mantra. Maybe taking a moment to set an intention for your practice, or for your day or week. Be a word or an idea. Seeing if you can draw from the grounded and very present place you've created within yourself. Repeating it a few times. And as you feel ready, you can blink the eyes open if they were closed. And if you'd like, you can join me in bringing hands to heart, welcoming one another with namaste as a greeting and a sign of respect. Namaste. From here, we're going to bring hands on tops of the legs, and we'll just do some shoulder movements. Inhaling, reaching shoulders back and up, and then forward and down. So making circles. After about 5 or so, you can go the other way. And then alternating forward. And alternating back. And then bringing hands together, interlacing them, and just start rolling out the wrists. So start drawing like a figure 8 with the hands. You can keep elbows kind of tucked in towards your body as you do this. And maybe go the other way. It's really awkward for me. Maybe even stretch out a little longer. Okay, opening and closing the hands a few times. Rolling out the wrists. The other way. And then bringing hands on tops of shoulders. Elbows facing away from one another. We'll draw circles with the elbows. Come back through that starting position. Inhale, squeeze shoulder blades together so elbows will point behind you slightly. Keep your chin tucked as you lift the heart up. And on your exhale, round through the back. Bring elbows towards one another. Maybe they touch, maybe they don't. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Just a few more. Inhaling. And exhale. Last one, inhale, and exhale. Inhale to the starting position, and then float the hands down. Fingernail side towards the floor, so palms are facing up, shoulders are rolling back and down. If you notice there's a big curve in your low back, begin to hug your belly in towards your spine, slightly tucking your tailbone under, so your low back is really long. Relaxing shoulders away from ears as you inhale, glide the chin forward. Exhale, tuck the chin back. A few more times, chin moving parallel to the floor. Inhale forward. Exhale back. About 5 or so. And then relax the arms, relax the head. Bring chin to chest. Inhale, roll left ear to left shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, roll right ear to right shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Continue. Inhale, roll. Lifting chin, maybe bringing your teeth to touch this time. And exhale through center. Inhale, roll. Lift the chin, teeth touch. Exhale, center. Inhale, roll. This time pause with your chin lifted, teeth touching. Maybe you open the eyes really wide and look all the way to the left, all the way to the right, relaxing shoulders. And on your next exhale, very slowly bring chin back to chest. Inhale the other way, lifting chin up, teeth touch. Eyes open wide, look all the way to the left, all the way to the right. And then as you're ready, exhale, chin back to chest. Inhale, lift the head. From here, we're going to start drawing a figure eight with your nose. So we're going to lift up, over, down, across, up, over, down, across. So like you're drawing a big figure eight with your nose. Really using your nose to kind of guide your whole head. We're just working with the front plane of the body. So again, not allowing your head to like fall back at all. Continuing to draw this figure eight or infinity sign with the nose. Really lifting up as you draw those circles. And go the other way. If you find yourself getting dizzy, you can pause or slow down. And one more going in this direction before meeting back in the center. Inhale here. Exhale, look over the left shoulder. Maintain your steady posture and your steady breathing. Inhale, unwind. Exhale the other way. Inhale, unwind. Exhale, relax. Inhale, reach arms overhead. Exhale, twist using just your torso to face the left knee and then float your hands down for a twist. Maybe you're working with coming onto like the tips of your fingers to help keep your spine really tall. If your hands can touch down on the ground, that's great. If they're kind of hovering, it might be nice to find a blanket or a block or a book or something to put your hands on. You do want to be grounded in some way through the hands here. It's okay if it's just the fingertips. Inhale in your twist. As you exhale, look over the back shoulder with your gaze. So bring your chin to the back shoulder. Inhale to unwind the gaze, reach arms overhead, unwind the torso, and then drape your body over the opposite knee. So finding a counter stretch here. Allowing your shoulders to relax towards the ground. See if you can get your torso squared to the floor. So if you notice your heart's kind of wanting to lift up or your front arm is wanting to lift up, see if you can really shift your torso so you're parallel to the floor. Breathing into the back of the body, into the obliques, into the hips. Really noticing where you're experiencing this stretch. And as you're ready on an inhale, you can begin to walk your hands through the center. Pause for a few rounds of breath. Still allowing your torso to feel really heavy on the ground. Relaxing the jaw and the brow. As you inhale, walk hands in towards you, lift up through your seated posture. And exhale, relax. Switch which leg is in front. Root back down through sits bones, sit up nice and tall. Inhale, arms in line with ears. Exhale, twist to face the opposite direction, so the right knee this time. And then float the hands down. So you're just twisting until your body stops you. You're not cranking into the stretch. Moving from your core, your torso. Rooting down while lifting up. Inhale here. As you exhale, look over the back shoulder. inhale, unwind the gaze, reach arms in line with ears, unwind the torso, and then fold over the opposite leg, hands come towards the ground. Again, checking in to see that your torso is really facing down towards the ground. You find the front arm is lifting, see if you can encourage that downward motion. Maybe this side feels very different than the last side. Maybe it feels the same. Taking every opportunity to cultivate body awareness. Opening up that inner dialogue. How does this feel? On an inhale, you can walk hands through center again. Exhale, fold over the legs through the center. You can come onto forearms, you can keep the arms stretched out. On an inhale, walk hands in toward you, lift into your seat. As you exhale, bring the legs out in front of you, stretch both legs long. Windshield wipe the feet side to side. Point and flex the toes. And then walk the hands in towards, or the feet in towards you. So bending your knees. And you're going to begin to lean back. I like to bring my fingers facing in towards me. I think it feels really good on my arms, but you're welcome to have the fingers facing away from one another or even towards the wall behind you. So that's up to you. Walk your feet about as wide as your mat and start to windshield wipe the knees left and right. You can start slowly, maybe holding with legs one way for a few rounds of breath before switching. Moving mindfully here, really observing, staying present in your body, connecting with your breathing as you move. And then coming back through the center with the knees, walking hands in towards you. We'll come forward onto a hands and knees position, tabletop. So if you'd like to bring a blanket with you, you can, tucking it under your knees. Take a few rounds of cat-cow. So wrists are right under shoulders, or hips are over knees. If you need to make any slight adjustments with your alignment, you're welcome to do so. Just be mindful that you're not allowing your belly to swoop down like this. Instead, you're hugging navel in towards spine. You're pressing into your hands. Shoulders are active, back is active. So you see the difference between this versus this. So really engaging the muscles of the abdominal area, really pressing into your hands, and then as you're ready, once you feel really stable, pressing into the tops of the feet, you can start to add some movement here. So inhaling, turning tailbone up, dipping belly down, lifting heart and gaze, chin is tucked. Exhale, tucking tailbone under, hugging belly up and in, round through the back. Chin might tuck to chest as you look towards your legs. Continue inhaling, waving forward with the spine. Exhale, rounding. So that curve in the low back isn't always something you want to avoid. Like in cat-cow, feels really nice. But when we're working with more active postures, more strength building postures, you want to be really mindful that you're tucking tailbone under or hugging belly into spine, just how we were in our seated posture. You might not think of a seated posture as being very active, but it's actually really dynamic in my opinion. It requires a lot of strength to hold a seated posture for a long time. That is actually the reason or the motivation behind yoga asana or yoga postures, more physical practice that we work with that we do in these yoga classes you're probably accustomed to. All of that is preparation to be able to sit in meditation for long periods of time. So as you see, I'm starting to invite more intuitive movements into my body. Scooping forward, sitting back. You want to shift in the hips, snake the spine, rock the head. You can. We'll be here just a few more moments. Really spending a lot of time here to articulate the spine. And next time you scoot forward, returning to your tabletop. This time we'll tuck the toes, inhale, hover the knees. Exhale, send the hips back and up for your down dog. You can begin to pedal out the feet here. Take more intuitive movements from this new shape. I've been really enjoying a stretch for the backs of my legs from down dog where I step one foot behind the other, so like toe to heel. You can keep your knees bent slightly as you do this. Still lifting your hips back and up. It's a big calf stretch. Maybe you try that on the other side, or maybe you skip this one. It's pretty high pitched. Really pressing into your hands so you're not dumping into your shoulders. Returning to your down dog if you are working with those stretches. And as you're ready, you can walk your feet to meet the hands at the top of your mat for your forward fold. Maybe swaying side to side or shifting your weight forward, back, left to right. Might feel good to take opposite elbows and let your torso really hang. Maybe you sway. Eventually you'll come through the center. If your hands are lifted, you can release them down. Nod the head yes, shake the head no. As you're ready, on an inhale, we'll lift up halfway, flat back, crown of the head reaching towards the front of the room, tailbone reaching towards the back of the room. Hands can be at shins or maybe the floor. Exhale, fold back over the legs, lift the hips up nice and tall. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. This time, inhale to your half lift. And then as you exhale, reach your arms into a T shape, press into your feet, reach all the way overhead with the arms. Maybe lift the gaze and lean back slightly, keeping chin tucked for a back bend before exhaling, hands to heart. Few rounds of breath here, checking in. You're ready, we'll step to the top of the mat. Inhale, reaching arms overhead. So you exhale, take your right hand or your right wrist into your left hand and hinge to the left. Inhale through center, reach both arms in line with shoulders. And exhale, take left wrist into right hand, hinging to the right this time. Inhale, lift up. As you exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Hands come to the floor or maybe shins as you inhale for your half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Hands come to the mat, or maybe if you're working with blocks, they come to blocks. Big step back with the right foot. Engaging the glutes. And as you exhale, you can lower the back knee down. If you have a blanket, maybe you slide it under the back knee. Untuck the back toes, walk your hands up onto the left leg, sending your right hip forward. See if you can still tuck your pelvis under. And as you're ready, inhaling, reaching arms in line with ears. Exhale, relax shoulders. Reach arms back, maybe even a little farther as you send your right hip forward. Really pressing into the front foot and the back leg so you feel really stable. If you feel a little wobbly, see if you can engage the glutes, squeeze the abdominal muscles. Feeling more stable through the core. As you exhale, bring hands back down to the front knee. I'm going to show you a few options for this next stretch. So inhaling here, lifting heart, hands at legs is option one. And leaning back, hands can be at legs or maybe they come to the ground. So if that's even too much, you can keep the front knee slightly bent. So maybe you don't sit back as far if you're working from this upright position. Just oiling up the hip forward and back. Other option, if your hands can reach the ground, is to lean forward just like before and back, but this time from more of a folded posture. So you're a little lower to the ground. And maybe you even lift the front foot going back and forth. If you have blocks, it's a really great option to bring under the hands here. But like I said, if you don't have blocks and if this is not accessible to you, you can do that same motion from just a higher up variation. It might even be a little challenging to do it this way. Tests your balance a little more. So just do a few more times, forward and back. And the next time you come forward, bring the hands back down to frame the front foot, and then walk the left hand on the inside of the left foot. So it's going to look like this. You have the choice of keeping the back knee down, or if you want to tuck the toes of the back foot and lift the back knee, you can for a more dynamic stretch. If it's available to you, you might try coming onto forearms. If you have blocks, you can bring forearms to blocks. Working with lizard pose. You can even come onto fists if your wrists are feeling a little tender. One more round of breath. So you inhale, begin to walk your foot back into the center, hands frame it. Tuck the back toes if they're not already tucked. Lift the back knee if it's not already lifted. Big step back to plank pose. And then lower the knees, untuck the toes, lower all the way down to the belly. One hand on top of the other underneath the forehead. Bend the knees, windshield wipe the feet side to side. When you're ready, hands or feet can lower, hands can come under shoulders, press yourself up through a kneeling plank, and as you exhale, find child's pose. Really noticing the difference between left and right in the hips. And as you're ready, begin to shift forward, returning to that kneeling plank. Tuck the toes, inhale, lift knees, send the hips back and up for down dog. 3 rounds of breath here. And then making your way to the top of your mat for your forward fold. Once you're there, on an inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. And going directly onto the other side, hands come to blocks or the floor as you step the left foot back. Both feet are in its own lane, all 10 toes facing the front of the mat. And on an exhale, lower the back knee down, untuck the toes, walk the hands up the right leg, the front leg, sending left hip forward, scooping tailbone under. Inhale, reaching arms in line with ears. Exhale, relax shoulders. Pressing into your foundation. Inhale. As you exhale, bring the hands back down to the knee. Maybe you start working with the variation where you're a little more upright, bringing your hips over the back knee, and then bending into the front knee, alternating forward and back, hands on the leg. Or maybe you're working with hands on the ground, forward and back. Either option or either variation, you have the option of lifting the toes as you sit back and lengthen through the front leg. Just a couple more, whatever variation you're working with. And next time the front knee is bent, bring hands towards the floor. Begin to walk your right hand on the inside of the right foot, so heel toeing the right foot out slightly. Opening up through the hip even more, working with lizard. Maybe you stay like this. Maybe you tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Hands can be flat on your mat, or maybe you come onto fists. Maybe you come onto forearms with or without the knee lowered. Three more rounds of breath. You're doing great. This is a really deep stretch for the hip, so it should feel pretty intense. See if you can breathe through it. Taking any of these difficult postures, just thinking of them as opportunities to just pay attention to how your mind and body react when met with a challenge. On an inhale, you'll slowly lift up out of wherever you are working with. Walk the right foot back into its lane. Tuck the back toes. Back knee lifts, big step back. Inhale here, exhale, lower knees lower all the way down to the belly. Hands stack on top of one another, forehead on top. And maybe you stay here and breathe, or maybe you bend the knees and add in some movements as you breathe. From here, you can eventually lower the legs if they were lifted, slide hands under shoulders. Inhale to press yourself up through kneeling plank. Exhale, child's pose. Breathing into the back of the body once you arrive. Might feel good to kind of swim your arms by your sides and roll out the wrists. Maybe interlacing fingers behind you. Taking opposite elbows or forearms. I'm working with a more compact child's pose with my knees together, but you're welcome to work with knees wide. As you feel ready, you can gently press yourself up, shift onto one hip, stretch both legs long. And from here, we'll make our way onto our backs. So scooting up about midway on your mat with your seat, and then very slowly rolling down, stretching out arms and legs, maybe taking a full body stretch. Any intuitive movements that feel good, go ahead and take those. Maybe shift left to right and remove some of the flesh from beneath your seat. And on your next inhale, hug right knee into chest. Roll out the ankle a few times. Keep the extended leg really active, so flexing the foot, toes are pointing up. And as you're ready, inhale, extend through the right leg. Hand can come to the back of the right thigh or maybe the calf. Keeping the foot flexed here, heel pointing up on your inhale, and as you exhale, point the toes towards the ceiling. So inhale, flex the foot, heel points up, exhale, point the toes, stretching the top of the foot. Continue a few more times. And then when you're finished, you can inhale, hugging knee back into chest. And exhale, cross it over to the left, so across your body, finding a reclined twist. So the right leg can stay stretched long here. Both shoulders are rooting evenly into the ground. Maybe you stretch both arms longer. Maybe you keep the left hand on top of the right thigh. Seeing if you can relax the lower body, relax the glutes, relax the face. Whenever you're ready, on an inhale, you can roll onto the back, hug knee back into chest, bring chin to chest, forehead to knee, and exhale, slowly roll back down, stretch the leg long. Maybe you windshield wipe the feet a few times, compare right and left. And then as you're ready, on an inhale, you'll hug left knee into chest, take the movements of the ankle, rolling them one way and the other, rolling it to the right, to the left, drawing circles. And then as you're ready, inhale to prepare, root down through the low back, and as you exhale, extend the left leg long. Hands can find the back of the thigh or maybe back of the calf. Inhale, pushing heel towards ceiling, rooting down through the grounded heel, so the right heel is pressing into the floor. Exhale, left toes point to the ceiling. Continue, inhale, flex the foot, exhale, point. As you feel ready, you can hug the knee back into your chest. Big inhale once you get there, and as you exhale, roll onto the right hip, left knee crosses the body and lowers towards the floor of the right side. It's okay if it's hovering, maybe your arms are stretched out, maybe right arm is on top of left thigh. See if you can encourage both shoulders to press into your mat evenly. And again, noticing if you're unintentionally clenching anywhere or holding tension in your body. So softening the glutes, softening the legs, softening the face, the neck, and the shoulders. Three to 5 more rounds of breath here. Whenever you feel ready, on an inhale, you'll slowly roll onto your back, keeping left knee bent, hugging it into your chest. Exhaling, relaxing, and then inhale, chin to chest, forehead to knee. Exhale, rolling down very slowly. Stretching both legs long again. And this time bringing soles of the feet to touch, bending your knees so the knees are facing away from one another. Hips are open. Hands can be on the belly, or maybe on the heart, maybe one on each, or maybe they're stretched out beside you. About 5 more rounds of breath like this. And as you're ready, you can maybe use your hands to help guide the legs back together. Heel toeing the feet as wide as the mat while keeping your knees touching. As you're ready, you can heel toe the feet back in line with hips, knees separate. And on an exhale, hug knees into chest again. Rock side to side. Maybe draw circles with your knees going one way and then the other. Might even feel good to rock forward and back. If it doesn't, definitely skip it. Eventually, all meeting back with knees to chest. And then on an inhale, taking knees as wide as the armpits. Maybe you stay like this with your knees bent generously. Or maybe you lift your heels so they're facing the ceiling. Hands can come to the backs of the thighs, the calves, ankles, edges of feet. Working with happy baby. So maybe you stay still here. Or maybe it feels good to rock side to side. Another option I'm very fond of is bringing one heel in towards your glute as you extend the opposite leg. Alternating, inhaling, heel to seat, extending opposite leg. But really just taking any actions that feel good in your body, and that might be inaction, that might be stillness. Remembering that this is your practice. At any time, you're welcome to take a different posture, personalize the practice, so it's really catered towards you and your body. A few more rounds of breath, eventually lowering heels towards seat if they aren't already there. As you exhale, guide knees back together. Inhale here. As you exhale, bring chin to chest, forehead to knees, curl up into a little ball. Give yourself a big hug, maybe smile. On your exhale, let it all go. Stretching back out onto the floor. If you're ready to move into Shavasana, you're welcome to cover up with a blanket or add on some layers, maybe toss a few blankets or a few pillows, under the knees. You can elevate the hips with a blanket. You're welcome to bring soles of the feet together, knees wide again, if that was a really relaxing posture for you. So just taking the next few moments to either get in any final postures, or move directly into your Shavasana. Know that you can always take a seated meditation in place of Shavasana. Finding stillness in your own time. Maybe returning to that body scan from the beginning, starting at your feet and making your way up, observing if you're unconsciously holding tension anywhere in the body. You do observe that you are. See if you can direct your breath to those tight spots. So as you inhale, visualize the creation of space, traveling to any of those points of tension. And as you exhale, visualize all of that tension just melting out of the body. Repeating that practice over and over again. Remembering it's called a yoga practice for a reason. Connecting to your breath, reconnecting to your breath, and so on. You can slowly begin to deepen your breathing, inviting awareness and sensation back into your body with each round of breath. Maybe inviting some small movements, wiggling fingers and toes, rolling out wrists and ankles. Maybe taking a full body stretch. Eventually, you can roll off to one side, bringing knees towards chest, finding a fetal position. Maybe recalling your intention from the beginning of class if you made one. And whenever you feel ready, you can gently press yourself up and find any comfortable seated posture, maintaining a soft gaze or closed eyes as you transition and as you arrive. Allowing hands to relax towards the floor beside you when you do arrive. And on an inhale, reaching arms overhead, grow tall, root down. Exhale, palms touch, thumbs come to third eye. Pausing here to acknowledge the origin of this practice, dating back thousands of years to India. Sending gratitude to all of those who've practiced, preserved, and shared this tradition over the years. Also extending reverence to those who originally inhabited the land that you sit on. And lastly, connecting to anyone special to you, living or past. Whenever you feel ready, you can lower your hands to your heart and extend love and gratitude inward, thanking yourself for arriving at your practice today. Thank you so much for allowing me to practice alongside you. May there be peace in your mind, peace in your body, and peace in your heart. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate donations. Feel free to DM me with questions. I'll see you next time.